So continuing on from our last ep where we were running through section 3 of the binge track, camping up at Old Police Station Waterhole inside the Davenport Ranges National Park. We then headed up towards Mataranka, stopping at the Highway Inn and a few other places on the way. We did go into Bitter Springs here, but it was full of tourists, not my cup of tea. So we pulled out of there and found a neat campground elsewhere inside Elsie National Park.
So yeah, we didn't end up doing too much around here. It's just full of tourists, which I expected it to be. But it was late in the day, around 4, and we trying to decide what we're going to do, and we thought, well, we just better camp here. Because we've been having 12-hour days in the car. I've been driving from 4 a.m. to like 4 in the arvo. So, and packing up at night, getting ready to leave early the next morning. So it's bloody nice to pull up camp here. Didn't get out of the bloody swag till 7. Good as gold. And packing up this morning instead of packing up at night. It's been bloody nice. So I noticed this morning, just doing a few checks, and this bloody brake fluid's a bit over full. It's actually leaking out the cap. I'm just going to take a little bit out. So I think maybe, because I got a service done just before we left, and Toyota did a safety bush check. That's something they do for the Central Land Council Toyotas and police vehicles. So I asked for that, and basically that's a thing that should be done all the time, really, because it's just a full going over the vehicle. They must have topped up the brake fluid, but she was too full, eh? Anyway, everything else seems pretty straight. That's why it's good to have a daily morning check, I suppose.
We then thought we'd shoot up to Catherine just purely to have a look around. That was about it. And I really wanted to go to Catherine Rod and Rifle to have a look at what fishing gear they have. And as you can see here, they've got absolutely everything under the sun. So I did pick up a rod and reel combo. Now, following that, we did actually head out along the Roper Highway through the Larrimah National Park all the way to King Ash Bay. That's probably going to be in next week's episode or maybe the week after. After King Ash Bay, we did return back to Mataranka. Right, well, we've gone all soft and decided to, after King Ash Bay, we went to along the Carpentaria Highway heading west to the Highway Inn. Pretty much ready to head south to head back to Alice Springs. And we thought we still got a couple of days up our sleeve. Let's head north, about 160 or 70k, back to Mataranka. We're at the Territory Manor, however you say it. We couldn't get a room anywhere. You can't get bloody campgrounds anywhere. Everywhere's packed. So we thought we would try here, and they had a room or two. We're bloody happy with this. This is pretty cool. Not a bad little spot, eh? Very neat. I actually really like this. It's pretty bloody good. A couple of $100 a night. Very happy. Now, this was a pretty neat little spot. I would stay here again, and we were just happy to find a place, to be honest. It was a really nice little room, good spot, good food. Look at this cool dude. He's thinking about having a swim. Go on, do a dive, mate, and I'll judge you on it. And look now, his mate wants to have a crack at it. So it was a really cool vibe here, eh? Just nice grounds, birds walking around and that sort of stuff. We ordered pizza and it was good tucker. Yeah, my bad. They're the Sheilas and this is the bloke. Oh man, this place is awesome. I'm glad we came back. Squid, pizza. So the following morning we set out and I was bloody determined to find a fishing spot, eh? Not that I'm any good at it. But we did find one near the 12 Mile Yards in the Elsie National Park. Absolutely beautiful spot. Right, well this is this morning's adventure. Just walking alongside this croc-infested river. Trying to catch a fish. Something I'm not very good at. Yeah, so we're trying to
boat ramps back that way. You can launch a boat here, but people say you can catch fish here. So people have pulled barras out of here. So we're bloody looking for a spot to flick the lure, but it's all pretty shallow right here. But we must push on. What a beautiful spot though, eh? This is amazing. This is what we're using. We've got this gold hard body, which are meant to be good for Barra, but it swims deep. I don't want to chuck it in here, I reckon I'll lose it. And then we got some soft plastics, but I'm going to chuck this bigger one on and see how we go. We haven't caught any fish, but it's hard. Water's cool, it's a hard time of year to catch fish. I ran into a couple of blokes that have caught some, but they're catching, I think they said cherubin. They got cast nets and whatnot. Apparently the lures are no good at the moment, but that's all we've got, so we're going to try. The first barra. Oh, fuck this. Look over there, there's a pig. It'd probably be pretty tasty, I'd imagine.
Now, it was very cool to come across these old 12-mile yards, as you can see, built in 1969 and still standing today, and it's nice to have a read and just imagine what went on all the way back in those days with them fellas trapping all the wild cattle out of this place.
So we're just rolling past the little sleepy town of Larrimah, where a bloke by the name of Paddy Moriarty went missing some years ago. There's a massive investigation on it. It's really well known, a pretty well known, NT case about Paddy and his dog that went missing, and he was a local here and he was down the pub every bloody night, and so it's a real interesting thing to look into. There's some like a docu-series, if that's what you want to call it. I can't remember if it was 60 Minutes or who it was, but it's a very interesting case of a small town. Very interesting, wacky characters, sort of people that live in little towns like this with a population of 10 or whatever it is, just bush people, and they got their little inside beefs with each other and whatnot. It's pretty interesting, but yeah, the poor bugger's still missing, presumed dead, I think, so worth having a look. They reckon there was an old lady that used to live here and make pies, and they reckon she might have cooked him up, chucked him in the pies. Or they had a saltwater croc here at the pub. He's either in a pie or he got fed to the croc. That's what they reckon. That's how the tale goes anyway.